Okay, in this video we are going to prove a sufficient condition for a graph to be Hamiltonian. So this statement or this theorem is due to OR, and the statement of the theorem is as follows. Let G be a simple graph with n vertices, and let U and V be two non-adjacent vertices in G such that the degree of U plus degree of V is greater than or equal to n, and let G plus UV denote the supergraph of G obtained by joining these two non-adjacent vertices by an edge. Okay, then the conclusion is G is Hamiltonian if and only if G plus UV, the graph obtained by adding the edge between those non-adjacent vertices, is also Hamiltonian. Okay, so let's go and prove this theorem, and before that again we can see that this statement gives only a sufficient condition for a connected simple graph to have a Hamiltonian cycle. So it is not a necessary condition. Okay, it does not give a necessary condition for the existence of a Hamiltonian graph. That says if a graph satisfies these conditions, okay, then the graph is Hamiltonian. But there are graphs that do not satisfy these conditions, like degree of U plus degree of V greater than or equal to n for non-adjacent vertices, but they are Hamiltonian. Okay, let me give an example of such a graph. Okay, let's consider C8. C8 is a cycle on 8 vertices, and we know, okay, this graph is Hamiltonian. C8 is Hamiltonian. Okay, C8 is a cycle graph and it contains all the 8 vertices, so it is Hamiltonian. It's a cycle by definition, and here the number of vertices in this graph is 8, and again C8 is a 2 regular graph. Okay, C8 is a 2 regular graph. Okay, any cycle graph is 2 regular, and here we can see that, okay, if you take any two non-adjacent vertices, let them be U and V in C8, okay, that is degree of U in C8 plus degree of V in C8. Okay, so since it is a 2 regular graph, okay, this sum will be equal to 4, okay, and this sum, it is less than 8, wherein 8 is the number of vertices in the graph. Okay, we can see that, okay, this condition is violated. Okay, still the graph is Hamiltonian. So that says this statement only gives a sufficient condition for a connected simple graph to be Hamiltonian. Okay, do not provide necessary condition for the existence of a Hamiltonian cycle. Okay, so here we can see that we can have infinitely many graphs like C8, C9, C10, etc. that are Hamiltonian, but does not satisfy this condition, degree of U plus degree of V greater than or equal to n for non-adjacent vertices. Okay, so it's only give a sufficient condition, it do not provide a necessary condition. Okay, so let's go and prove the statement. Okay, so here we can see that the statement is in if and only if form. Okay, so we have to prove both directions. So the first direction says if a graph satisfies all these conditions, and if G is Hamiltonian, then G plus UV is also Hamiltonian. And similarly, if a graph satisfies all these conditions, and if G plus UV is Hamiltonian, then G is also Hamiltonian. Okay, so let's prove this theorem. Okay, so let's first consider this direction. That is, if G is Hamiltonian, then G plus UV is also Hamiltonian. Okay, so let G be a Hamiltonian. Okay, so let G be a simple graph with n vertices, and u and v are two non-adjacent vertices in G, or non-adjacent vertices. In graph G, such that it satisfies this condition. Degree of u in G plus degree of v in G is greater than or equal to n. Okay. So let's consider this graph which satisfies this condition. Okay, and let that graph be a Hamiltonian graph. Okay, suppose that G is Hamiltonian. Okay, since G is Hamiltonian, there is a Hamilton cycle in G. Okay, let's call that cycle C. Okay, so since G is Hamiltonian, G has a Hamilton cycle. Okay, let's call that cycle C. Okay, here we can see that this cycle is also a Hamilton cycle in G plus uv. Okay, so this G plus uv is obtained from G by adding an edge between these two non-adjacent vertices. Okay, so that says if G is Hamiltonian and if C is a Hamilton cycle in G, the same cycle will appear in G plus uv. Okay, so since G is Hamiltonian, G has a Hamiltonian cycle C, and this cycle C will be a Hamilton cycle in G plus uv. Okay, and that says G plus uv is also Hamiltonian graph. Okay, so here very easily you can see that this cycle C, okay, it is also a Hamilton cycle. It is also a Hamilton cycle in G plus uv. Okay, because we obtain this G plus uv by adding an edge between these two non-adjacent vertices. So this cycle will still be in this graph, and that acts as a Hamilton cycle in this supergraph G plus uv. Okay, and that says, okay, since G plus uv has a Hamilton cycle, okay, therefore G plus uv is Hamiltonian. Okay, so we proved this direction. If G is Hamiltonian, then G plus uv is also Hamiltonian. So this proof is somewhat easy. Okay, so let's go and prove the other direction, the difficult direction. Okay. Okay, so assume that we are going to prove this direction. Okay, suppose that we have a graph G that satisfies all these conditions. Okay, then we are going to prove that if G plus uv is Hamiltonian, then G is also Hamiltonian. Okay, so let's assume that this G is a simple graph with n vertices, and for any non-adjacent vertices u and v, the degree of u plus degree of v is greater than or equal to n, and let G plus uv denote the supergraph of G obtained by joining an edge between, okay, joining u and v by an edge. Okay, and this direction says if G plus uv is Hamiltonian, then G is also Hamiltonian. Okay, so let's go and prove that direction. Okay, so assume that we have a graph that satisfies all these, and suppose that okay, this graph, the super graph obtained by adding this edge is Hamiltonian. Suppose that G plus UV is Hamiltonian. And since this graph is assumed to be Hamiltonian, this graph has a Hamilton cycle, and let's call that cycle C. Okay, so let C be a Hamilton cycle in this graph G plus UV. Okay, so if this cycle does not contain or does not use this edge, okay, that says C is a Hamilton cycle in our graph G. Okay, if that's the case, then we are done. Okay, so let me write that down. If C does not use the edge, okay, UV, so if this edge it doesn't appear in C, okay, then okay, that cycle C is a Hamilton cycle in G. Okay, because if this particular edge it does not use the if the cycle does not use the edge UV, okay, then we can very easily see that okay, C is a Hamilton cycle in G. And since in this, okay, if this is the case, then and since okay, G has a Hamilton cycle C, then that says G is Hamiltonian, and we are done. Okay, so let's consider the other case. If C contains this particular edge, okay, so and what is going to happen? Okay, so let's go and see what is going to happen in that case. Okay, and so suppose that edge, okay, UV is not in C. Okay, suppose that UV is on C. Okay, so if this edge is not on this particular cycle, then definitely we can see that okay, we assume that this is Hamiltonian. Okay, if this C it does not use this edge, okay, then that says this C is a Hamilton cycle in our original graph. And okay, we are trying to prove that, right? If G plus UV is Hamiltonian, then G is Hamiltonian. If that's the case, then we are done. Okay, so let's consider, okay, here we are considering the other case. Suppose that V is on the cycle C, okay, on that Hamilton cycle C in G plus UV. Okay, so assume that this cycle starts at U, okay, then it goes through each and every vertex in G, and it reaches this vertex V. Okay, so this U and V are two non-adjacent vertices in the original graph, but in G plus UV we added that edge. Okay, so we consider this cycle starting from U and ending here, and then from V, using that newly added edge, we move back to U. So this is a cycle. Okay, assume that C is this cycle C. Okay, assume that C is this cycle, starts at U and come back to U through this edge UV, and in between it uses each and every vertex in the graph. Okay, and now we can see that okay, if we delete this last edge, we will get a path in the graph. Okay, and that path is going to be a Hamilton path in G, because here this is assumed to be a Hamiltonian cycle. So if you take any Hamiltonian cycle and if you delete an edge, okay, you get a Hamilton path. Okay, so here we are taking this path and we are deleting this last edge UV. Okay, so we get a Hamilton path. So let me write that down. Okay, now we can see that okay, let me call the vertices of graph G v1 v2 up to vn. Okay, we assume that that graph has n vertices, right? So u is equal to v1, okay, then v2, v3, etc., etc., v n minus 1 vn, and suppose that vn is equal to v. Okay, so what we did is we took this one and we called the first vertex u and the last v, and we delete the last edge. Okay, now we can see that this is okay, this is a Hamilton path in our graph G. Okay, okay, so this path will look something like this. Okay, suppose that this is v1, v2, v3, etc., etc. So we have an edge from v1 to v2, v2 to v3, and here we are assuming that u is equal to v1. Okay, then okay, after that we have this vi minus 1, okay, vi, and there is an edge between these two, okay, etc., etc. Then we have this vn minus 1, and the last is vn, and vn is equal to v. Okay, so this is our path, and that is a Hamilton path in G. Okay, so now I am going to make a claim, and I am claiming that if you consider this path and our graph G, there exists an I between 2 less than I less than or equal to n minus 1, okay, to between these two numbers both inclusive, such that okay, these two conditions are satisfied. Okay, there will be an edge between say u and j in G, and okay, let it be say ui and uj, okay, and ui, okay, okay, edge between this u and vi, and edge between and then edge between say vi minus 1 and v. So here I am claiming that okay, if you consider this path and this graph G, okay, there exists an I such that I is between 2 and n minus 1 both inclusive, such that okay, this edge is an element of G and this edge is also an element of the graph G. Okay, so this edge is between this one, this u and this vertex and this edge, okay, it is between p and ui minus 1. Okay, so the claim says there exists an I between 2 and n minus 1 both inclusive, such that uvi is an edge in G and vi minus 1 v is a edge in G. Okay, let's see why that is the case. Okay, so if this is not, if this is not the case, okay, then we will get a contradiction. Okay, let's see that particular thing. Okay, so if this claim is false, Okay, if there does not exist an edge, something like this, okay, then we will arrive at a contradiction. Okay, so let's see. Okay, why that is the case. So otherwise, if that claim, suppose that the claim is not true, so otherwise what is going to happen is that for every I, okay, so it says there exists, right? So the, like if this claim is false, it means for every I between this and this, okay, if this edge is an element of G, okay, then this edge must not be an element of G, and let's see what is going to happen if that is the case. Okay, otherwise for every I between n minus 1, okay, if this edge u v I is an element of G, okay, then the other edge v I minus 1 v is not an element of G. Okay, so if this is not the case, then for every I, okay, if there is an edge between u and I, u and vi in G, then this edge it won't, okay, it won't appear. Okay, sorry, the claim is the other thing, right? Okay, so if this edge appear, then this edge must not appear. Okay, so assuming that, okay, this claim is false. So otherwise for every I between 2 and n minus 1, if u vi element of G, then vi minus 1 v is not an element of G. Okay, so let's see. Okay, if this is the case, then let's see what is going to happen. So if this is the case, the situation is something like this. We have our vi minus 1 here and vi here, and that path there is an directed between these two, and our u is somewhere here and our v is somewhere here. Okay, so this says if there is an edge between this and this edge, and okay, there won't be this edge. Okay, so here we can see that this particular condition, it will put a constraint on the degree of v. Okay, let's see what that constraint is. Okay, so here again we can see that we are dealing with a simple graph, so that says the degree of v in G is always less than or equal to n minus 1, where n is the number of vertices in the graph. Okay, since we are dealing with a simple graph, it doesn't have a loop or a parallel edge. Okay, so this is always satisfied for a simple graph. Okay, so let's consider this v, and here we have this additional condition here, right, and that will put a constraint on the degree of v, and this particular thing says, okay, if there is an edge between this u and vi, okay, then there won't be an edge between v and a neighbor of vi. Okay, so that says, okay, this particular condition, if u vi element of G, edge set of G, and vi minus 1 v not an element of G, okay, then the adjacent, in this case vi is adjacent to u. If that's the case, then vi minus 1, it must not be an adjacent vertex of B. So it will put a constraint on B. Okay, and that says, okay, if you consider all the adjacent vertices of U, okay, by the way, we are dealing with a Hamilton cycle, and all the, oh, not Hamilton cycle in this case, Hamilton path. Okay, all the vertices appear somewhere here, right? And okay, if you consider all the neighbors of U, okay, it will appear somewhere here, and the neighbors of that adjacent vertices must not be adjacent to V. Okay, so that says all the adjacent vertices of V must not be adjacent to a vertex which is adjacent to V. Okay, so and that says degree of v is less than or equal to n minus 1 because we are dealing with a simple graph minus the additional constraint because of this thing. We have to subtract the degree of v from this quantity. So if this is the case, then degree of v will be always less than or equal to n minus 1 minus degree of not v, degree of u in G. So for every adjacent element of this v, the neighbor of that adjacent must not be adjacent to this vertex v. So we have to subtract the degree of u from this quantity. So here we can see that if you rearrange this one, this quantity, you get degree of g in v plus degree of u in g, that is less than or equal to n minus 1, which is strictly less than n. But here we started with something like this, g such that degree of u plus degree of v for any two non-adjacent vertices, that quantity is greater than or equal to n. And here we read this condition, right? Degree of u plus degree of v in G is strictly less than n, and that contradicts our assumption. That contradicting the assumption. And that says this kind of this situation it won't arise. And that says this claim is correct. There exists an I said that I 2 less than or equal to I less than or equal to n minus 1, said that u vi is an edge in G and vi minus 1 v is an edge in C. So if this occurs, the situation will be something like this. So let's look into this particular path and see what is going to happen. So here we can see that we can find a cycle, a different cycle here, right? So let me use a different color. So here we can see that we have this cycle here, which that do not include that UV edge that we started with, right? So you start from here and you move to V2 using this edge, and from here you move to V3, and from V3 you move to Vi minus 1, and from Vi minus 1 we use this edge and we move directly to Vn. And from Vn we go to Vn minus 1 using this edge and using this region of the path. From Vn minus 1 we move to Vn Vi, and from Vi we use this edge and we move back to V, move back to U. So here we have this cycle, right? We have this one U equal to V1, then V1 you go to V2, from V2 you go to V3, and from V3 using this segment of this path we move to Vi minus 1. From Vi minus 1 we use this edge and we move to Vn. From Vn we move to Vn minus 1 using this edge and using this segment of the path. From Vn minus 1 we move to Vi, and from Vi using this edge we move to V1, and V1 is nothing but U. Now we have a cycle here. Let's call that cycle C dash. And here we can see that this C dash is a cycle in the graph G. And here again we can see that this graph is this cycle is a Hamiltonian cycle. It's a Hamilton cycle because we can see that every vertex appear here, right? V1 up to Vn appear in this cycle. So this is a Hamilton cycle. And that cycle says this is cycle in graph G, and that says the graph G is Hamiltonian. So let me go and complete the proof. Anyway, this is the idea. Okay, so since this claim holds, okay, we have a situation something like this. Okay, there will be a edge between u and vi, okay, for some I between 2 and n minus 1 both inclusive, and vi minus 1 and v. Okay, if that is not the case, then we will array a contradiction here. Okay, and that says that okay, this situation must occur, and if that occur, then we can find a Hamilton cycle in the graph G. Okay, and that Hamilton cycle, it goes something like this, as I said. Okay, so let me write that down. Okay, but now as I said, we can see that u, v1, v2, v3, and from v3 to vi minus 1. Okay, so I am talking about this particular cycle. Okay, from there to vn to vn minus 1 and back, right? Okay, and from vn minus 1 to vi. Okay, vn minus 1 to vi using this region, a segment of the path. Okay, vn minus 1 up to vi. Okay, from vi you can use this edge and go to u, right? v1, vi, v1. Okay, and v1 is equal to u, and here we have this cycle, and that is a Hamilton cycle, and that is cycle in graph G. Okay, and we can see that this is a Hamilton cycle in G. Okay, and since G has a Hamilton cycle, okay, therefore G is Hamiltonian. Okay, that's the proof. So we are able to prove both directions here. Okay, this direction. Okay, that says if G plus U is Hamiltonian, then G is Hamiltonian, and the other case also. Okay, if G is Hamiltonian, then G plus U is Hamiltonian. Okay, but this theorem, Orr's theorem, it gives only a sufficient condition for a graph to be Hamiltonian. It doesn't give a necessary condition. Okay, so that's the proof.